From This Corner with John Ball is brought to you by KNEO 91.7 FM, The Word.
Welcome to From This Corner. We, as we said earlier, we've taken a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back with From This Corner. My first guest was Lori Lyra, probably the second guest, not saying that she's better at you, Jim. She's better looking, we'll say that.
Yes, absolutely.
But the superintendent of schools, Dr. Jim Cummins. And, Jim, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got things to talk about the school system, about where we're going. People want to know when we're going to get the Performing Arts Center up.
Yes, very exciting. Well, you can see the construction going on at the Boulevard, and we're excited about that. I think probably January of 2023, maybe February of 2023 is the timeline that we're currently on. Things have gone pretty smoothly. The concrete wall panels aren't being delivered quite as fast as we expected, but Branco and the subcontractors have the opportunity at times to make up some time once the walls are up. So we'll see. We'll continue to track it, but it'll be sometime next winter.
Hey, speaking of Branco, we had a great, and I mean a literally great, holiday classic thanks to Branco and the people. Because of the kind of pattern change and everything that was going on, I thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be a disaster, but it was not, because those people that love basketball, Neosho got to kind of stand up and stick their chest out, both on the court and off the court. Great job by everybody.
Thank you. Yes, what an opportunity to bring people into our community, and we're just excited that they continue to partner in that effort, and the city and all the sponsors that they have make for a great venue. We're hopeful next year I think it'll be a lot the same as far as just some traffic and those type of things, because we won't quite be finished, but once it's finished 2 years from now, when we have that holiday classic and we've got that auditorium sitting next to it, it's going to be a great venue. And like I said, our communications department did a great job of getting some banners up in the lobby just to kind of promote what was going on, so that people could understand that construction and the inconvenience did have a purpose.
Hey, speaking of those purposes and speaking of our people, once again, you and I talked some time back. We talked about getting safe rooms in all of the different buildings, with the exception of Benton. And somebody was obviously paying attention to what was going on, because we could put the safe room at Benton off for a period of time and get a FEMA grant. You want to talk about that for a minute?
Yes, we did. And we took some punches, I guess, from the community, especially around Benton, for putting some of these other projects before the Benton safe room. And I just remind people that the reason we postponed that, we would have done it as the very first project, along with the middle school safe room that has been constructed in Central and Field. But we had to wait, or we had the opportunity for $1.8 million in FEMA match, but we had to be patient and let that process work. It finally did work. We got approval. So now we're set. It's been bid. It came in under the estimate, which was excellent. And so it will be starting in May with a completion date December 14th. And so we're excited about that. Not only will it add the storm shelter, but it will add the opportunity for us to have 2 classrooms of early childhood at the Benton campus, which will allow us to expand our early childhood program.
So not only will all of our kids be safe, but the communities around will be safe. They'll have an opportunity to go someplace should, God forbid, a storm come up again.
You bet. Yeah, it adds Carver, the high school, and now Benton, all as community safe rooms, and as well as Goodman as a community safe room.
Well, can you imagine anything else that's going on? I keep thinking, well, when are we going to stop? When are we going to stop? And then you turn around and buy the old Hayes building.
We did, and what an opportunity that presents. What it did essentially is it's going to allow us to add about 250 to 300 student capacity at our elementary level. We know that we recently built Goodman, and it's probably 350 capacity, and it was $14 million. We think we'll be able to get into the Hayes building, all in purchase and everything, somewhere under $10 million. And so we think not only did it provide an opportunity at the right time, it matches what we're trying to do with our new STEAM school, but also it gave us an opportunity to expand our capacity for elementary students at a price that's probably below what market is right now for square footage.
Well, I'm not real good at acronyms. Tell me, what does STEAM mean?
Science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So basically, I mean, we want to continue to promote the STEM fields, which STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. Because we know that those are the opportunities that are out there in the world right now. We need to show our students that, especially the ladies, the female students, that there are opportunities in that field. It's an underserved field with the female population. We want to expose our youngest students to those opportunities. But we also think the arts are important, so that's where the STEAM comes in. The real thing is not so much that everybody that goes there is going to be a scientist or an engineer. The whole concept of it is that we want students engaged in hands-on learning 90% of the time. And so that's really the difference. The classrooms will be different in that they'll have mostly glass, so people can observe the instruction that's going on, how the students operate. There'll be a huge makerspace area for students to build things, to be constructing, to be using their hands, to be creating, and be problem solvers. And so we want it to be an incubator for that type of teaching and instruction for our whole district and really for the region.
Well, let me see if I can summarize here for just a minute, because Neosho is in a great place, and we have the people there that would be able to take advantage of it. We have Crowder College just outside of town. We're preparing kids every day to go to Crowder. In fact, some of those kids graduate from Neosho with an associate's degree from Crowder. Would have never happened it had not been for that. The STEAM program is going to get people to the place that they're being prepared for the outside world as well, and give them hopefully a step to go forward with that as well. And then there's the kid out there that just needs to be able to know how to put the nuts and bolts together, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really, our CAPS program. Just one of our pillars and one of our goals is to provide students an opportunity for the pathway that meets their desire. So if you want to go to Harvard, we want to have a pathway that prepares you for that. If you want to leave high school, go directly into the workforce and choose a vocation that is of interest to you, we want to give you the greatest opportunity to enter that vocation when you walk out our doors. And so we try to look at programs that provide a breadth of experiences and prepare those students. And like you were talking about the Crowder associate's degree when you graduate. We just hired a young man that graduated with a associate's from Crowder and his diploma last year. We hired him onto our staff. So, I mean, those people are getting out and getting employed, and we continue to look for opportunities. We're looking into a youth coding league for our middle school and junior high students to get students encouraged about coding computers and the value that adds. And as somebody that got an opportunity to do that way back in the early 80s, I mean, it just makes you a logical thinker, and you don't have to become a computer programmer to gain value from learning coding. And so we're looking into that program. It's all about just giving options.
Well, this weekend's a great opportunity for people if they want to go to the junior high, isn't it? The
expo is going to be held out there, continuing that partnership with the chamber. I think, who knows? This may become the permanent place. We moved it there largely because of the traffic and all of the issues that are going on down at the high school. But the junior high offers outside. They can have some of their vendors can be outside. There's plenty of parking. We look forward to seeing how it goes for them, and learning whether we want to maybe make that the permanent spot.
Well, I say this until it's a broken record, but really it does need to be said. The improvements that we've made in the Neosho School District is almost threefold. First of all, anybody that comes to town and is looking to place a business where a lot of people will be, they want to talk about quality of life. They want to make sure their kids are taken care of. They want to make sure their kids are taught. That's number one. Number two, with the type of facilities that Neosho now has and is in the process of having, there are people that are looking at Neosho, quality educators that are looking at Neosho because they see the investment this community was willing to make in order to provide for their kids. And those things are very important. Plus, the kids win.
Yes. I'm just ecstatic about what the community has given us the opportunity to do. I think we're going to have some announcements on some new donors that are contributing to our projects. The opportunity, when I came here approaching 4 years ago, sat down with some of the community leaders, and one of the commitments was, I do not want the school district to be what holds Neosho back from growing. And to me, it's amazing how the community has just supported the opportunities that have been presented. And I think the school district is turning into an asset for the community. As well as the chamber, the things that the city is doing. Crowder, you mentioned them. Just a lot of people pulling on the rope in the same direction, and I think the community, the people here are going to be the benefactors of that.
Well, I hate to bring up bad things, but 2 years ago we were kind of sitting here, and it was spring break, and we were talking about the pandemic. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? How are we, when we get kids back, we're going to be able to take care of this? At that time, we were giving out free lunches, and we were trying to make sure that there were 11,000 plus free lunches that were given out during that time. Do you feel like that we've progressed since then, and I think we've done a great job of keeping our kids safe and still having a learning environment for them?
Yeah, I'm proud of our operations team, really proud of our teachers and instructional staff in the efforts that they've made. I sat on a couple of statewide panels with other superintendents, veteran superintendents, and we all talk about this, probably in our career the most challenging thing that we've faced. But the resilience of our educators, and they're tired of it. I mean, having to deal with the changes, and we're in and we're out, and with the quarantines and the sickness and just different things, really called on them to cover their peers' classrooms when they were out. We were a shortage of subs not wanting to come into the buildings, and so it's been a challenge. I'm hopeful. I've said this before, but I really am hopeful that we're kind of on the backside of this. I know our counts are down here in Newton County. We're starting to see our student attendance come back. We're starting to see teachers having to miss fewer days. But just really a tremendous effort. It was amazing to me how many schools were not in school at all last year, the entire year virtual. And then this year there were still some that trickled back in, and we've really tried to answer our communities need, which is to have school, have students in our buildings, serve them lunches, keep them safe so their parents could go to their jobs. And those that chose virtual, I think we did a yeoman job of keeping them up to speed, doing the best we could to stay connected with them. There's some funny stories. We had some grandmas that were kind of the group leaders. If the teacher had to take a second to go do something, we kind of had some grandmas that maybe were keeping the group together on Zoom, and just some fun experiences. But people are ready to get back to normal. We just got done doing some traveling, and I can tell you the airports they're starting to fill back up. People are starting to get back to some semblance of normalcy in their lives.
Okay. Well, there's probably a million other questions we could talk about from here, but for now, Dr. Cummins, thank you so much for being here. I know you're a busy guy because when everybody else gets a spring break, you maybe don't get one, do you?
Yeah, I've gotten an opportunity, spend a little time with my granddaughters, and going to go do a little flying today, and so I'm taking a little bit of time, but yeah, there's work to be done all the time. So spring break's no different.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We've been talking with Dr. Jim Cummins, and we've been talking about the great improvements and the way the city of Neosho and Newton County is going to benefit from that because of the Neosho School District. Dr. Cummins, thank you so much.
Always good to be with you.
From This Corner with John Ball has been brought to you by KNEO 91.7 FM, The Word. You can watch this episode and many previous episodes of From This Corner on our YouTube channel, linked to our website at www.kneo.org.